feel like I'm constantly just a little too early or a little too late on my entries and exits. Today was no different. I jumped over to the micro ES just because I thought that was about to make a big move and follow the NASDAQ, and then we range for 30 minutes. As soon as we get out, it rips in the direction we wanted. I don't know. Like, I thought I gave it plenty enough time. And then obviously that just kind of puts you in a bad mood when you miss stuff like that. So jumped back to the NASDAQ. It was in a range all morning. As soon as we want to short the highs, we freaking keep ripping. So I don't know what to do. Calling it there though. Enjoy those trades if you want to continue watching. I'm trading on a prop firm, Apex Trader, using the 50K account. We are working towards a 3,000 profit goal. We are working our way backwards right now. But if you're interested in prop firms, Google them. If you're interested in signing up for Apex, link in the description. And enjoy the video. Thanks. I think if we break out of 40, go long. So wanting to come down and test VWAP. But if we come back down to like 310, nah. But let's just wait and see what freaking happens. Getting a little ahead of ourselves. After days like yesterday, I can't help but just start to be reckless. It's something I struggle with, and I understand that it's going to be hard to be profitable thinking like that. But I tell myself, oh, when I get funded, I'll be more cautious. But I need to build that habit first. ES is nowhere near its high, so I don't know. I'm not used to NASDAQ making these types of moves without the ES doing it first, so I almost feel like that's kind of what's been throwing us off, if I can blame it on that. But I know it's probably, or it's definitely my emotions that throw me off. But maybe we switch to trading ES if NASDAQ is going to be the one making the moves. Buy 5 on ES. NASDAQ is just ripping, so kind of expecting to pull ES with it. So I didn't buy 5 on ES, it's on MES. Put this below VWAP. And on the daily, yeah, I mean, if we can get to 137, we get into this trade and just immediately go in the red. Yes, just doesn't know what it wants to do. I have an order to add 5 at 133, but if we also come down and touch VWAP, I kind of want to get in there as well. That'll bring our entry down. Need to be careful with these. These are hard to see. We have an average entry at 129. All these lines are too close together here. Why? At this just past point of control at 130, 129. I think that's a good sign. Plus with NASDAQ ripping. Just absolutely ripping. Jesus. I was looking at the daily on the NASDAQ and thinking that if we got above 50 right here, we would go up and touch the bottom of these. Why don't I just freaking play my thoughts like that? I looked at that earlier and I don't know. I just jump into other things instead of going with my gut. The NASDAQ just absolutely rips up, and the day that we want to choose to try the MES, it's not playing out very well. I mean, we're not in a super bad spot, but we could be very quickly. Be nice if we can just at the very least, go test the highs at 137. Gotta get through this opening, the opening high at like 132. There we go. Almost. Not quite. I think if we make new lows, we're gonna have to get out of this. I know the markets don't have to act in a certain way, but when NASDAQ just rips up, like, why did ES not go with it? Just broke through the opening highs, but not by a lot. So we did, I mean, on this candle, we did make a new high and a higher low, for what it's worth. Wasn't by a lot, and the candle's still in play. And doesn't mean anything anyways, because the market can do whatever the hell it wants. Just sitting on this volume at 130. And it's basically a gamble at this point if we're gonna break out on the upside or break out on the downside. But we've got our stops right below where it would, if we break out on the bottom. Oh, this is on, sorry about that. This is on a freaking 22 range. Not that it matters, because I'm kind of looking at the 5-minute, but that's why it looks so freaking weird. I was wondering why it looked like there was like no movement for the morning. We need NASDAQ to break out of this range. I just don't get why ES didn't make those moves like NASDAQ. I mean, we have the same type of movement, but then ES just kind of stopped. Not quite a new high. Every time we get up here, we get slapped back down, which, I mean, if the buyers keep trying, then eventually they'll outbuy the sellers and we could get a rip, but at the same time, they could give up and the selling pressure could really drag us down. That's some like 20-point range over here. If we were playing that, we could have been freaking selling the top and buying the bottom like 3-4 times now. We picked today to try MES. We got in this right in the middle of the range on the ES. I should have waited for my first entry until we touched VWAP. That would have been at the bottom. Then then theoretically we either could have got out towards the top, or just added a couple more each time we touched VWAP with a tighter stop. Every minute that goes by, I'm less and less confident. Just broke through these lows. Now going to test the first low. Is that a double bottom? I need to be, since that just formed, we probably need to start looking for an exit. Ideally, if we can come up to 129 and just get out at break even. And then we went through all this stress for nothing for the last 30 minutes. We can just go up to like 131, 132. We can start moving these up. I was not expecting this previous candle to end green. That seemed like a pretty strong red one. I'm gonna take one off. I thought you used to be able to just drag these across and it would trigger it. Alright, I took 5 off, so I need to take off one of those. Just trying to give us a little bit more time. I mean, we got 2 green candles. We were in this range like all morning, so maybe we break out this time. And if it's any indication from NASDAQ, I mean, it looks like we want to break out to the upside. I'm gonna take 5 more off. This is just painful. Maybe if we de-risk, then the market makers will let us rip. I'm just gonna kill that. This looks like we want to start tanking. Looking at NASDAQ, we just had the point of control move up here. And if we break below the point of control, below like 50, I mean below this range, we could be moving our way back down. Let's going back to NASDAQ because this was so freaking annoying. Look at this. It's ugly. It's probably a glitch. I'd rather just lose money on the NASDAQ where I'm more comfortable. Kind of want to short up here and then just pull my stop like pretty close. What is happening? Are you freaking kidding me that we had 15 contracts on MES that we could have been working with, and now it's going to rip up as soon as we get out. a short at the. I mean, I feel like it's a pretty high probability that we go back to point of control at 70. We'll just pull our stop to basically making, if we make new highs, we'll get out. But we've kind of been in this, I think this is +1 and +2 standard deviation. We've kind of been in that this whole time. I know they don't have to interact or act the same way, but I've always seen that they do. So it's just odd that NASDAQ is like way up here versus NASDAQ is still in this range down here. We just time freaking. We timed this wrong. For the last 30 minutes, if we shorted the highs, we would be in profit. And then we do it during a breakout. Shouldn't have done it during a breakout because we're probably about to start a new range up here. And that looked like Tradervue kind of froze for a second. All right, I'm starting to get frustrated. I'm going to stop there because it's just making me mad now that this happened. Look at that. We got out of 2 here, got out of 2 here. We tapped view up and then just rip up. That's gonna make me just want to keep chasing big moves and making mistakes. So see you guys later.